Okay, so for this video, I wanted to cover the IRS CP49 notice. Who is it issued to? Why is it issued to you as a taxpayer? And what do you need to do when you get this thing? Well, if you've got this notice and you're watching this video, you probably already know what happened, right? You were issued a CP49 notice, and the language on the notice says that the IRS kept some of your tax refund, right? So why did they do that? Well, the IRS will keep some of your refund and issue you this notice if you have any outstanding prior year tax debts, right? So that's really what's going on here. So if we look at an example here for John, it'll better illustrate this issue. So John is a single filing taxpayer, and he filed a 1040 for 2020 tax year. Okay, so he had wages of $55K, federal withholding of $8,000, but his total taxes for the year, based on his marginal rate, is going to be $5,000. So he's due a tax refund of $3,000, right? And that's the $8,000 withholding minus his actual liability. So he's supposed to get $3,000 back, enters his bank details, and electronically files a return. He's waiting for several weeks, and when he finally receives his refund, it's only $700 rather than the $3,000. So John is wondering, what happened here? What went wrong? Well, in order to figure out what went wrong, we have to look at John's filing history. So for the prior year, 2019, he filed his 1040 in March 2020. On that 1040, he had total tax liability of $10,000 and $8,000 of federal income tax withheld from his wages, which means he owed an extra $2,000. Right, so when he filed his return, he should have paid an extra $2,000 with the filing on or before April 15th, 2020. Now, John neglected to pay this, right? He didn't pay that balance owed. So when the IRS system receives his 2020 tax return, which shows a refund of $3,000, they can also see in the system that John owes money from 2019. Right, he owed $2,000 in a principal balance of tax owed, and then the amount of interest and penalties that was accrued totaled $300 for the year, right? So the IRS is going to net his tax refund against the balance owed and then issue him the difference. So of his 2020 tax refund for $3,000, the IRS keeps $2,300, right? $2,000 in principal plus $300 in interest and penalties, and he gets the $700 difference. Now, what do you need to do as a taxpayer if you get these kind of notices? Well, if you agree with the adjustment, you don't have to respond to the IRS or do anything, right? You owed the money, they kept portion of your tax refund, now everything's square and you're done. Go on about your life. Where there comes a problem is if you disagree with the adjustments, right? So if you disagree with the IRS keeping your refund for prior taxes owed, then you need to respond to the notice and explain why they should not have adjusted your refund like that and kept it. Now, in practice, what I see happen, unfortunately, fairly often is the IRS will show that you owe taxes in prior years because payments you made weren't correctly applied to your account, or they weren't correctly applied to the appropriate year. And so that's why the system gets kind of all in a whack, and they can, basically show that you owed money when in fact you didn't, and you've already settled these debts, and so they start taking refunds from subsequent years. You don't want to find yourself in that position, so you need to get in touch with the IRS, respond in writing, and call them, and try to clarify what's going on and see that their system gets updated appropriately. Okay, so that covers it for this CP49 video. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Thank you.